Hey everybody, welcome to the event tonight. My name is April Ann. I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and tonight I have my sister with me. Now, we often get the question, are you guys twins? Who's older? Who's younger? So I'll just go ahead and tell y'all she's a bit older, just by 2 years. So anyway, she's on with me tonight. Y'all will get to hear her story as well. But we just wanted to thank you guys. We know it's a crazy, busy season. Ask me how I know. We went from Chick-fil-A to karate to art show tonight. So it's been busy here, but thank you for giving us a little bit of your time tonight. And I want to encourage y'all tonight to just have an open heart, right? I don't know who invited you tonight, but what I do know is if you have an open heart, an open mind, we may just speak to you tonight. So never in a million years, y'all, would I have imagined I'd be part of network marketing. I was a speech therapist by trade, very busy. My husband, we're all in the military, but my husband's a pilot. And so he is gone all the time. And so I often end up solo parenting. And y'all, I thought that would be our norm forever, right? I would work a 9-to-5. My kids would be in full-time childcare. And there were definitely some things that didn't sit well with me. Maybe y'all can relate to this. Crazy mornings, feeling like, okay, I have to beat the clock, right? Got to get the sandwiches packed, got to get everything ready to go, got to get breakfast, got to get myself ready, right? It was just like, I was so stressed out. And then somehow you have to like breathe in the car and be like, okay, I'm ready to see all the clients. Like, let's do this thing, right? Taking paperwork home and other things home from work, right? Maybe it was coworker drama. Anyone relate, right? Not having control of my schedule always was really hard for me. I'm very type A, rigid, structured. I love predictable routines. And so when I'd walk into the private clinic in the mornings, there were more mornings than none where the secretary would say, hey, we slid another kid in this time slot. Or, hey, you get to see so-and-so's client. She's out. Here's the profiles. Figure out what you're going to do. Or, hey, your lunch break is no longer at 12. It's at 3, right? Anybody relate? Okay. Also, taking my kid to the sitter was heartbreaking. So I had lots of mama guilt because I would take my kid to the sitter, right? While I spent time with other people's kids. And that was hard. Sweet Miss Karen was wonderful, but it wasn't mama, right? And so it was hard to hear, oh, he did this, this, and this today. Another thing, y'all, is I was capped for income. It didn't matter how early I showed up, what kind of mood I was in, what kind of therapy I provided. Did I add in some amazing activities? I was capped. And then I also had limited PTO, which I will share with you guys here in a little bit. So let me take you guys back 4 years ago. I was silently struggling. Okay. If you asked me, no one knew it because I painted a smile on my face, but I was struggling, you guys, with massive mood swings after my son was born. I definitely couldn't lose some stubborn weight. I was at a plateau. I had tried everything. I had difficulty falling asleep, you guys, to the point where I would just stay up as late as I could. So it would like knock me out, even though that never worked. I still tossed and turned for hours. And I definitely was a slave to sugar. And Abby's going to talk a little bit more about this because we were both in the same boat when it came to being a slave to sugar. So y'all, I said yes to Plexus because I was ready to change my health. But little did I know, y'all, that my life would change for the better. And this would not only impact my life and my boys. Did I even share with y'all I have 2 boys? Probably not. So I'm a boy mama. My boys would be impacted and so many other mamas and their sweet babies and their husbands too. So it turned into this big ripple effect. But here's what I want y'all to know is you might be sitting on this call tonight thinking, you know what? My job's pretty predictable. My pay is pretty predictable. I show up, I do the work, and I just keep doing the things, right? Like you just go through the motions. Well, guess what? Life was super predictable for me too. But it was 2018, that it became so unpredictable that our lives were literally turned upside down. At that time, y'all, I was working in birth to 3. So I went into the homes, I saw the little ones, I was pregnant. So that was a little bit hard going into some houses and they're cooking or whatever they're doing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get sick. But y'all, a Category 5 hurricane went through our town and literally wiped out the town. And so y'all, a lot of my clients were low income clients. And so that meant they didn't have insurance. They no longer had a house. So they fled to other states and cities to live with their families, which meant, y'all, overnight, I was out of a job. I would have never predicted that. And I know some of y'all are on here tonight that experienced that hurricane, and you guys are still rebuilding, right? 4 years later. And so we had to do something, right? And we were halfway through my second pregnancy. And guess what? The military said, hey, there's no longer a base. We're going to go ahead and move you to the East Coast. And in the meantime, you need to go ahead and fix your house and get it ready to sell or rent, right? So it was a really scary time in our life. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a very, very hard time. But as believers, we trusted God had a bigger plan. And boy, did he ever. Because you guys, if it wasn't for that hurricane, I'd still be that speech therapist, working 9 to 5, missing out on moments with my boys. We'd be in debt. Y'all, I could go on and on and on. So everything happens for a reason. We truly believe it. So I knew we had a ton of debt, right? We put me through grad school and I wanted to contribute financially. I wanted to help work towards some goals besides being mom and military spouse. And so you guys, this is when I decided I'm going all in. Because what I found out as I started taking the products and researching the products is everyone needs the products. This isn't just another pair of leggings. This isn't just another blush, right? That you have to try. I love blush, I love leggings, but they're not going to change your life, right? And so y'all, these products are for any gender, any age, every single person needs them. And also, here's the kicker, they're consumable. What the heck does that mean? When people love their products, they continue to take them to feel great. And that means I get residual income, right? The beauty of residual income. And y'all, these products work. In fact, I'm actually sipping on my pink drink as we speak, as you guys listen. And y'all, less than 2% of people return them. They're clean. They're products I love my kids taking and my husband taking. And so I truly could see myself representing this company of integrity. Now, I know you're thinking, okay, well, that's great for you, April. Like, congratulations. I'm over here. I don't have influence. I don't have a big network. I don't have extra time. I don't even have experience. Well, join the club. That was me 4 years ago. I had nothing going for me. What did I have going for me? I had grit. Okay. Y'all, I went through my master's online for 3 years, and my husband and I decided it would be a great time to have a newborn. Okay. So talk about grit, right? Y'all, I came from a family that believes in having a work ethic, right? We're called to work 6 out of 7 days a week. I also was very determined to figure things out, willing to learn, hungry for change, right? I really saw that this could be something more for my sweet family. And I knew that I could do the hard work. So I went all in, y'all, and I want you to do the same tonight. So I am at the very top of the company. I do make a 5-figure check every single month. And you guys, I'm telling you, when my husband sees that check and when I see that check, we literally just look at each other like, is this our life? Like, what did we do to deserve this? And y'all, here's the thing that has just impacted my husband so much. So if anyone knows Dave Ramsey, my husband is the nerd and I'm the free spirit. Okay. So we're opposites when it comes to finances. But the day, you guys, we got to pay off the rest of our debt, because we were in very close to $100,000 worth of debt. The look on my husband's face was worth it all, you guys. All the short-term sacrifices, all the things I had to learn, all the things we went through on this journey, deployments and miscarriages and hurricanes, right? All of these things to be able to say, I helped do that, right? And in return, now I can help others do that. We now have enrolled our boys in Christian private schools, and we get to travel with my husband. When he's gone on work trips, it's no longer him. It's, hey, I'm going to buy a ticket and the boys and I are going to meet you in Florida. Let's make the best of this time that you're supposed to be gone. We also can say yes to things we never could say yes to before. We're saving for the future. Y'all, we have IRAs and emergency savings and car savings for our boys and college savings, like all of these things where my husband whips out his spreadsheet and he's like, I just can't believe like what is happening. Like, I'm so excited about this. And one last thing before I pass it on to Abby is we get to give more. And you guys, I truly believe God doesn't give more money to people until they're a good steward right away, right? You have to be able to give back that 10% before he's going to say, you know what, I want to throw open the floodgates and bless you more. And we've always been very generous, but now we can be even more generous. If you guys have heard of Compassion International, we sponsor 4 sweet boys. Yes, boys, right? Got to be a boy mama some more. And they get fresh water and food and clothing, and they get to learn about the Bible. And so that's been a huge blessing. Also, we've been able to help a church plant with one of our good friends from high school and helping to start this church from the ground up. And the last thing that has just been amazing is giving spontaneously, y'all. There's this sweet mama who I know through Facebook, and her baby was in the NICU so long, you guys, her bills were just through the roof. And there was one point where I just turned to my husband, and it was in church, and I was like, I know this girl on Facebook, and I think we need to give her X amount of dollars. And you guys, before Plexus, we were living paycheck to paycheck. That would have never happened. But my husband literally said, let's do it. Like, let's do it. So I want you guys to know that this can drastically not only change your life, but thousands and thousands of other people as well. So with that, Abby, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Wow. Well, I think we could just end the call right there. That was so good, April. Thank you for sharing your story. So you guys just heard from April, and she is the extrovert between the two of us. And now you guys get to hear from me, and I'm the introvert. So the cool thing is, you guys, it does not matter your personality type. Anybody can do this and be successful. So when April approached me about Plexus almost 4 years ago now, I had 2 young kids at the time, a 2 and a 4-year-old, and I was a working mom. I taught elementary music classes for grades 4K through 8. I was also a piano teacher, and just trying to juggle all the things of normal life, right? Cleaning and meals and bedtime and daycare drop off, right? So many of you guys can relate. And in addition to that, I was also on the worship team at our church. So I was busy, but we all are, right? But more than busy, I felt like I was just on autopilot. And you guys, I was desperate for more energy and relief from my sugar addiction. I could not get away from the sugar, the chocolate, the ice cream, the homemade desserts, the leftover treats in the teacher's lounge. You guys, it satisfied that part of me, even if just temporarily, but it made me feel in control again and a little more relaxed and less anxious, but that was not healing what was going on at the root, right? I would use this sugar to just get me through the day, to get me until my husband got home from work and could take the kids, or, you know, I'd find myself napping in the afternoons, or even sometimes I would lay down on the carpet in my classroom and just wish the day was over. And so I was just on the struggle bus all day, every day. And little did I know that it had to do with my gut health and how it was literally feeding on sugar it was not just a lack of willpower. So I felt stuck. I felt drained. And I was actually very skeptical about Plexus. April shared with me constantly for about a month. And I had doubts that it could even work or do anything for me. But I finally did say yes. Even though I saw the price and I was a very frugal person. So I was like, oof, like, do I really want to budget for this each month? But I took the leap of faith because I was desperate. And I'm so glad that I did. You guys, I got that box in the mail. I had my very first pink drink. It is amazing, you guys. And literally the rest is history. I got my energy back. I was no longer needing naps every afternoon or crashing on the couch by 8 p.m. I was no longer digging in the cupboard or trying to hit up the vending machine in the teacher's lounge. I was finding that I was craving healthier foods for my body. I was no longer going to the cookie dough ice cream every night before bed. Anybody else relate? I started sleeping through the night, less time just sitting there thinking, anxious thoughts. I still sleep through the night. Puffiness started leaving my face. I noticed that it slimmed down. I was playing with my kids more, and I just felt motivated to exercise more, which is kind of a new feeling. And altogether, I felt alive and happy again. And you guys, I was sold. So although you can see the products clearly have benefited me over the last 4 years and also my family as well, what has really changed our lives is what happened after I clicked enroll. So April shared with me right away at the beginning of my journey that I can make some extra cash, and I am all about it, you guys. My mind immediately went to, oh yes, then I don't have to budget for my products each month, and that would be a huge blessing. And so I started connecting with some friends on Facebook, and guess what? They were interested in hearing more. They were struggling too. They were looking for help. And I was able to provide that solution for them, and it felt really good. So very quickly, I was able to cover my product costs. Yay, it was really a nice relief. But then I just kept getting more emails saying, you've been paid. And the amount and the checks, you guys, just kept going up. So we were able to use that money to cover unexpected costs like vehicle repairs or an extra bill. We were able to start paying down our home loan quicker. We started saving for our children's future, which we've never been able to do up until this point. We started giving to others in need, like April said. And what I found out was it was no longer just about me and my income and my family and my goals, but it started becoming about others and who I could help and impact. So even more than just that, the feeling better, bringing in the extra income, one of my favorite parts was being a part of a culture of growth and encouragement and about becoming the best version of myself or becoming more like Jesus, because that's what it's about. You guys, if you look out at this world, at the news, at Facebook, there's a lot of struggling people out there. There's a lot of darkness out there and depression. And you guys, we have the answer. We have hope. And so you see, it wasn't until I actually started my Plexus journey that I was able to see my true worth and value and realize that I had gifts and strengths inside of me. You have strengths and gifts inside of you. And so many of us, you guys, go through life with untapped potential still inside of us. You live a safe life. You go through the motions of working all day, every day to just pay the bills. You focus only on yourself. And I can say that because I've been there. You think, I could never do that. That's too scary. I don't like change. That's too hard. That's only for special people. Well, you guys, I'm here to tell you that you can, because I am doing it. I am the proof. Because if you would have seen me 4 years ago and where I was, I would have been one of the least likely to do this and be successful at it. I tried network marketing before and failed at it. I wasn't a serious introvert and still am. I had no social media presence. In fact, my team jokes with me when I say that my very first ever Facebook profile picture was of an animated Disney cat. Not even joking. So there is hope. But I didn't have a lot of good, deep relationships with people. And I was actually terrified to get on the phone and meet up with people in person. So, but what did I have? I had a hunger for change and a willingness to learn. And that's what it takes. When I was asked the question, would you be completely happy in 5 years if your life remained the exact same? I said, no, I wouldn't be okay with the go, go, go and the daily stress. I wanted more time with my kids and more freedom within each day. I wanted to get rid of the debt and the heaviness of it. I didn't want to teach until I retired, you guys. In fact, I didn't want to do any corporate job until I retired, because to me, that's a waste of years. And we also desired a beautiful house and a plot of land. And I wanted more than enough to cover all my current and future medical bills as I deal with a genetic disease that will be lifelong. So in short, you guys, I just wanted more out of life. I wanted options. Money is not everything, but it gives you options. And so I wanted freedom, and that's exactly what this incredible opportunity has allowed for our family. So here's the good news, you guys. I resigned from my teaching job, and I have never looked back. I stopped having to drop my kids off at daycare with tears in my eyes. I was able to take my kids to school and not have to rush off to work. I had more time to take care of my home and cook and bake as I pleased. Guys, I have brought my husband home from his physical labor job of 17 years. And actually, it's totally God's timing, you guys, because he was let go for absolutely no reason that made sense. So we knew it was because God had something new and better for our family. We've been able to travel more and do more and see more together. Our kids are able to be involved in activities they want without having to worry about checking our bank account or seeing if there's enough for that. And groceries, I know this might be a small thing, but being able to go to the store and load up my cart with whatever I want, organic groceries, and not have to worry about checking our bank account has been huge. And we are homeschooling this year, totally new adventure because we have the time. And you guys, my husband is writing a book. And I just get so emotional because here I was a teacher. He was working a physical labor job. We never would have imagined that our life would look the way it does now. So many doors have opened for us, and the ability to use our gifts to impact others and this kingdom. And I'm making 6 figures now, which is just crazy. Like April said, I feel like I'm dreaming. And this would not be possible without Plexus in this opportunity. So as you guys can see, it completely changed our lives now and into the future. It's a legacy that I can pass down to my children, and I am proud of it. Dreams do come true. You just have to be willing to allow yourself to dream again and to work for them. So I want to thank you guys for jumping on with us tonight. We do appreciate your time. If you guys come away with anything from tonight, we want you to leave knowing that everything you heard tonight, that little thing that kind of tweaked inside of you, like, oh, I would love that. That's what I need. It is possible for you. Your dreams do matter. Stepping into your full potential and leaving an impact on this world, it matters. This opportunity, you guys, is unlike anything else out there. And we deeply desire for you and every single person to be able to experience this for yourself. You can be successful, and we cannot wait to see how this opportunity completely changes your life if you're willing to take that leap of faith, because it is 100% worth it. And you are worth it. And the best part is we will be here with you to walk you every step of the way. So as we end this Zoom tonight, please connect with the person who invited you. We're here to answer any sort of questions and kind of help you process through your thoughts, because I'm sure you have lots of them. I did too. And again, thank you for carving out time and we hope to chat with you soon. Thanks, everybody.